Hello everybody, it's Tina at Tina Stitches. Welcome to my channel. And today is Sunday, July 7th. And we're having beautiful weather. But we have smoke drifting in from surrounding forest fires. So yesterday it was chilly because of the smoke cover. And today it is just smoky smelling outside. So we did go for a walk, but air quality isn't the greatest right now. So we're inside. And it is time for me to do an update video, so I figured now's a good time. I have been back to work for the last week, so my stitching has been a lot less, of course. I did get a lot done in the first week since my last video, because I was off for that week as well. But you will see all that, and I only actually, according to my planner, I believe I only had 4 whips. Works in progress. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And some of them got a lot of progress, and some of them I feel like I barely did a thing. It's a Haid and it's confetti, so that would be why. So I'm just going to warn you now, my husband and son had left, and so I have the door open and the dogs are in here, but as soon as they hear the car coming, they are going to freak out. So I will try to catch that and edit that out. Speaking of dogs, last week I started to tell a story and I got all over the place, lost rabbit trail. I was talking about how I have the kennel outside with the door open on the kennel. The reason for that is so that when I'm stitching outside in the kennel with the dogs, I know that they're not going to be running away behind me. They have to get in front of me to get out. It's just so that I'm more aware where the dogs are. Otherwise, we'd have to tie them up and they'd be a tangled mess. So, it works. Husband doesn't like it because he has to move it whenever he has to cut the grass, but luckily he hasn't had to cut the grass too frequently. I think he's moved it like 3 times so far. So he might convince me to take it down. We'll see. So, and other doggy news is Gonzo's eye seems to be doing fine. He sees the vet on Saturday. So we will see what he says. And I know some of you are interested in that, but not everybody, so let's get on to the stitching. What have I been working on? And also last time, I forgot to show you my finish. So how about I show you that finish, get that out of the way before I forget it again. And that is my Time to Stitch clock by Needlework Press, and I got all the parts to turn it into an actual clock. I do have more hands ordered on the way, and they're black, but they haven't shown up yet, so I might have to put in a complaint. This is stitched with the called for colors on I believe it's 32 count Cashel linen white that I had in my stash. One strand over one with the called for, with one of the called for colors, which is the tin bucket, which is the main gray color there. And the red is cranberry by Weeks Dye Works. I will put in a correction if I am wrong. And as you can see, it's almost 4:30 in the afternoon. So, time to stitch. Put that up there for now, and we'll get on to the whips. There's another previous finish, which I don't think I've shown you the framed version. It's not completely framed. It's not laced or anything like that. It's just resting in there. I just was trying it out, so I will show you a close-up of that maybe a little bit later if I have time. And so my first whip is the one that I've been working on for almost the entire 2 weeks since my last video, and partly because it's a beautiful design. I don't know why I've put it down for so long, and partly because somebody else is working on a companion piece and she's almost finished, so I need to get my button gear. And so I've been doing a decision wheel thing for colors and stitch count. And for the first one, it was white, and then it was green. Was it green? I don't remember now. But anyways, so I pulled out Crystal Christmas by Mirabilia. And here's what it looked like before. And here's where I am now. And as you can see, I mainly worked on this girl here. He was mostly done. I think I just did the back stitching on the wing for him. And in her, I did all of that cry neck. You can see it sparkling. I also started the lettering just a little bit and outlined the wings. All of the whisper in here was not done, and that's what I did for the, I think it was 200 stitches of white. So I decided, oh, just go do it all. So that's done. Since you last saw it, there might have been even some blocks of white, you know, part of her dress here that wasn't done. Because, yeah, I spent 2 weeks stitching on her. And I know, actually, the baubles on here were not finished either. So, that's where it is now. And I am as far as the center this way, and there's no stitching beyond that. Just the top of the tree is done there. But really, when I focus on these mirrors, they go relatively quickly. So I really should just work on them some more, but I did switch this one out because the last time I spun the wheel was for 300 stitches on blue, which I had to move the Q-snap for this anyways to reach the rest of the leaves here, which are green, and to do the lettering here, which is okay. I don't know what happened there. I think computer ran out of space, so I deleted some videos. So, as I was saying, I had to move the Q-snap anyways because this was the edge of the Q-snap. And there's more leaves that go here, and I could have done the lettering down here, which is blue, but I didn't want to get burned out on this, and I wanted to work on something that I'm not as excited to work on, if that makes any sense. Get some stitches in those less favorite projects. So I'm very happy with this progress, and I might pick it up again soon. But there are other memorabilias that I have on the go, and I may pick them up as well. So there's where I'm at for now. And let's put that down there. The next project that I worked on a lot is the one that I worked on outside and at my lunch hours at work. And I'm trying to pull it out of the plastic here. And that is Sweetheart Tree's Dad Quadrille. There's the DNA and the D with the heart. And I worked on this the whole week I was off. And I'm pulling it off of the Q-snap now. I don't want to lose my needle. Don't have a needle minder on this right now. I'll just use my little bumblebee. And the reason I'm taking it off the Q-snap is, well, a couple of reasons. One, I'm done all the stitching. I'm done all of the stitching, minus what I'm going to show you I have to frog, because I misinterpreted instructions. And then I can do the beading, and then it'll be finished. But I also wanted the Q-snap back because this is the perfect size for the couriers. So I wanted to get the stitching done to get my Q-snap back so I can start working on the couriers. So this is where I was before. And here it is now. And I misinterpreted the instructions for the Lazy Daisies, and I started over here. And I had started the daisies from the center out, when in fact it goes around the center. and there's a bead that sits in the center, and I thought the bead sat on top of that center there, and then I looked closer at the picture and realized, nope, I was wrong. So I did the rest, and I left the boo-boo in so I could show you I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. So I will fix that, and they actually look really good on camera, but those other lazy daisies, they have problems too. Not all of them are perfect. But when you look at a flower in real life, they don't all have perfect symmetry either. So like I said, all that's left now is beading. Fix those lazy daisies there, and I can assemble it. So maybe this will be another fully finish. Maybe. I can't make any promises. So that's the second whip that I worked on. The third one is the one that I was talking about. I switched out my Crystal Christmas for blue stitches. When I think of blue, I think of water or peacocks. And I don't have any water projects, but I do have this. This is one of the projects that I started for Mania, and it is a Peacock Sampler by Victoria Sampler. And I had just some of that tail feather work done. I will insert a picture here where that was. And here's where it is now. So I finished the peacock, except for there's one thread color that I don't have. It's on back order, and it's been over a month, and I contacted them again. It's still on back order. They haven't forgotten about me, they just don't have the threads. So yeah, his legs need to be done. And then her cross stitch stand needs to be done. And I could have went on to more lazy daisies over here, but I have a small problem with the chart and my floss. So in here you can see those are very bold yellow flowers. And if you look at her, she is a very pale, well, not very pale, but very Caucasian blonde woman. And I have no problem with changing the skin tones. That's not my issue. My issue is when I stitched it in the called for colors, I got a brunette, darker woman, which is fine, but that hair color is supposed to be the same thread to use over here for those gold flowers. And that is Lacquered Gold by Gloriana. So This is not nearly as yellow as the picture. So I'm debating what to do with those flowers. I think I also mentioned before that I am not fond of all the brown lettering. The lettering, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of yellow and brown. So when I originally bought this, I was thinking about changing the lettering to a different color, perhaps blue or teal, something like that. So as you can see, what I've gotten done is these 3 bands here and this portion here. I started the white on this band here, but then I'm surrounded by lettering. Unless I count and, go up to these bands and so forth. So I am going to put this one away for a little while, wait until the other floss comes in. I mean, I also considered just stitching her chair and stand in something else. It's just a stand. I can use any brown. I don't know about the yellow flowers. So choices need to be made. Decision. But not today. So, and the grime guard I made myself. I don't think I had any needle minders to show you. Which reminds me of another story. But I don't know if I'll tell that today, because I don't have that needle minder with me. Okay. Now for the big one. And this is the one where I don't feel like I worked on a lot. This is, I'll just rest it against me here. This is Beloved by Adele Sessler, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is where I was before. And here's where it's at now. It's hard for me to tell what you can see, so I got a peek. Okay, so it probably doesn't look a lot different. I'm going to be honest there. I think in the last 2 weeks I put in about 500 stitches. And I have to stand up to show you so I can reach over, because I also set my scroll frame higher up on the bar here before he was in this. But anyways, working over here, there's the midline right there. And I've just been filling in the parked stitches over this way. So just really not a whole lot of work. These are still parked from where I left off last time. So still got lots of work to do. Yeah, mostly I slowed down because, like I said, I'm back to work, so it's not getting as much attention as it had been. So that's where it is now, and like I said, I think I maybe got 800 in there. I need to get another 2,000 for the full coverage fanatics. I am doing this 2/1 half cross on 25 count even weave. And I realize now I didn't tell you my fabrics. Okay, so like I said, they came home, dogs started freaking out. So I will just do a recap because I forgot to do my fabrics. So in here, this I believe is a 28 count. Well, it's a 28 count linen. Well, maybe it's an even weave, but there's a bit of slubs. It was in my stash. I've had it for a long time. It's off-white color. And this is the fabric that came in the kit. Not sure what it is. And this is on white. I think it's cashel. Upside down. Huh. White cashel linen, 32 count, I believe. Whatever it was called for on the chart. So that is everything. And my plans. Plans are I'm going to be pulling out my Christmas Eve couriers and see how many of those I can work on. If I find one that I get a rhythm with, I'm going to stick to it because I want to get 1 or 2 more finished by this year. Also, I have a birthday coming up, and that means a new start and an Alice. And many of you know I've had this one since it came out, but I didn't start it right away because I ended up starting that one last year for my birthday. And the one I'm going to start this year, of course, the Mirabilia Alice. And I bought the bead pack at the same time, so I have that. I do need to get the water lilies, but I can stitch around that for now. I have all the DMC, so I just need to pull them out of my floss box over there. That's my floss box. And put it together, and I'm going to stitch that on the Candy Duo Belfast linen that I got from Extrude Designs in her Fabric of the Month Club, because it's beautiful. I think it'll go really well, and I think when I was looking at this last time I pulled it out, I think I only need half of it. And it's really hard to tell, but it's a peachy color with blue splotches. But it's getting washed out. So there's that. And something else that I'm going to do is, aside from yell at my dog, because he's being a jerk, I've been I don't know what's going on now, so I will try to make this quick. So I've been considering buying some of those reusable mesh bags for when you go grocery shopping, and instead of getting single-use plastic, which is a horrible waste of plastic, every time you get some vegetables, I decided to invest in some of those reusable mesh bags. I was telling my sister this, and she pointed out something one of her friends was doing, is they were taking an old sheer curtain and just making her own reusable mesh bags. Just do a drawstring top and some old sheer curtains. And I knew I had bought a curtain for a Christmas decoration idea, and it hasn't even been off the hanger. I just pulled it off the hanger now. So, and I just got this for $3. So it's not exactly a sheer, but I mean, just to go into the store and get some vegetables. I'm just going to make myself some bags out of this, because I'm not doing anything else with it. And I think I can get 5 or 6 bags out of that. So I will be doing that. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I don't think I have any other plans. Birthday start, mesh bags, and Gonzo sees the vet. So I think that pretty much covers it. I didn't make a list. But you know what? I will go and pick up... Oh! I was going to show you Alice in the frame a little bit closer, but I have haul. Not a lot, but I have a couple things here. So I was in the exchange where it's not a round robin, but it was a basket. It was a big envelope full of patterns and such that was going around. I signed up for that. I got the package. I went through it. I found 2 things that I wanted. I replaced it with 2 of similar items. And the 2 that I picked are the Hardanger Heart 1993 Christmas in My Heart ornament by Cross and Patch, and Lenart Fairies, Butterfly Fairies. Those are the 2 that I picked up from that. This was from Stash Unload. This is a needlework pattern. It's not, it's a canvas work, not cross stitch, but from Nancy's Needle. I know Caroline from Off the Grid, she does a lot of these types of designs. There was another one similar, well, but it didn't call to me. I think it was in golds and browns, and I wasn't drawn to that, but this one I was. So Floral Hedge from Nancy's Needle. And the last one that I got was also a Stash Unload. I don't think I showed this in my last video. I had it put away, but pulled it out again. This is the Arezzo 2014 Nora Corbett design. I think it would go very well with the Wherefore Art Thou piece that I have finished. So I got that, and I also got a piece of fabric from the same seller that I thought would make a great mermaid piece. And it is really not that color. It's green. It is mottled green. But you're not going to see its true colors, which is too bad. Let me see. Nope. Still going to wash it out. Really, really washed out. So, I'm sorry. It is a light green. I would give you a similar color name number, but I can't think of anything right now. So that I thought would be a good sea color for a mermaid. Perhaps a queen mermaid or the siren in the shipwreck. Two of the ones that I do have in my stash. So who knows? But I really shouldn't start anything until I finish a few more things. So I am going to wrap this up, and Khaleesi just curled up on that curtain I threw down there. Yeah, I'll just grab Alice and I will be right back. And here is Alice. And you're gonna see everything else too. Glare. Okay. That's a bit better. But, so this frame I just picked up at Walmart. This is, it is the right size, so I think I will just go ahead and lace it and put it in there. Yeah, because the back is one of those folded paper backs. So we'll see. I mean, it's a temporary frame. It didn't cost me a whole lot of money, so, but it allows me to display. Look at that. There's my Alice hat. Allows me to display while I try to get a permanent frame. And you're going to see everything in this room because of the glare. I suppose if I took out the glass, the matting, like lacing it, would fit in there better, but I'm going to be honest, I prefer to keep my needlework under glass to protect from dirt and dust. So, there it is, in all its glory, finally finished. And I really enjoy it. So, I am expecting somebody to be showing up any minute now, so I really should wrap this up. And I will get some stitching done, and I will try to catch up with you again in 2 more weeks. Take care. And don't forget to like and subscribe And you can follow me on Instagram at TinaStitches74. I will put all that details at the end, and I don't think I remember to put them in my comment box, but I will try to remember to do that. Thanks for watching. Bye. Can I see? What you doing?